The Power of Positivity, 2026 Morning Motivation. Start your day right, listen every day. Before the world speaks to you, before the noise grabs your attention, before doubt, fear, or distraction tries to negotiate with your future, there is this moment. This quiet, powerful moment where the direction of your entire day, and eventually your life, is decided. Not by circumstances. Not by luck. But by what you choose to focus on. By what you choose to believe. By the meaning you give to what's ahead of you. Positivity is not a feeling. It's a decision. And the people who win at life don't wake up hoping the day will go their way, they command it. Most people wake up already defeated. They open their eyes and immediately relive yesterday's failures. They check their phone and surrender their focus. They let the world tell them who they are before they've had a chance to decide it for themselves. But the giants of history, those who bent reality to their will, understood something most never do. Thomas Edison didn't wake up asking if success would find him. He woke up expecting progress. Andrew Carnegie didn't wait for confidence to arrive, he built it by choosing optimism in the face of uncertainty. Walt Disney was told his ideas were foolish, unrealistic, impossible, but he believed in a future he couldn't yet touch, and that belief shaped an empire. Positivity is the fuel of creation. It is the force that turns vision into movement and movement into momentum. When you decide to see opportunity instead of obstacles, your brain literally rewires itself to search for solutions. When you choose hope instead of hesitation, your body aligns with energy instead of resistance. This is not philosophy, it's power. The human mind moves toward what it consistently holds. What you think about in the morning becomes what you act on during the day. What you act on repeatedly becomes who you are. Every morning is a vote. A vote for the life you want or the life you tolerate. Abraham Lincoln faced more failure than most people could survive, business collapse, political defeat, public ridicule, yet he carried an unshakable belief that his life had purpose beyond his pain. That belief didn't erase hardship, but it gave meaning to endurance. Positivity doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means believing that no matter what happens, you have the power to respond with strength, intelligence, and faith in your ability to grow. Your mindset is the lens through which you see reality. Change the lens, and the same world looks entirely different. Two people can wake up in the same house, with the same resources, facing the same challenges, and one will see possibility while the other sees limitation. One will move forward while the other stays stuck. The difference is not intelligence. It's not talent. It's not background. It's the story they tell themselves before the day even begins. Henry Ford understood this when he said that whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That wasn't a quote. It was a warning. Because your beliefs quietly shape your actions, and your actions determine your destiny. If you believe today will be heavy, you will walk with weight on your shoulders. If you believe today is an opportunity, you will move with purpose in your steps. Positivity is not naive optimism, it is disciplined focus on what empowers you instead of what drains you. Clarity is born from positive intention. When you wake up and decide what matters, the chaos loses its grip. You stop reacting and start directing. You stop chasing everything and start committing to what aligns with your vision. The most successful people in the world are not the busiest, they are the clearest. They know what they stand for. They know where they're going. And every morning, they remind themselves why. Visualization is where positivity becomes tangible. Close your eyes and see the version of you who followed through. Feel the confidence in your body. Hear the certainty in your voice. See the results of consistent effort compounded over time. Your mind does not distinguish sharply between what is vividly imagined and what is real. When you rehearse success internally, you train your nervous system to expect it externally. This is how champions are made long before the crowd is watching. Positivity without discipline is just a wish. But positivity with discipline becomes unstoppable. When you believe your actions matter, you show up even when motivation fades. You keep promises to yourself. You build self-trust. And self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Every small win in the morning, getting up when it's uncomfortable, choosing focus over distraction, intention over impulse, sets a standard. And standards shape identity. Gratitude anchors positivity in reality. When you appreciate what you already have, you operate from abundance instead of scarcity. Carnegie built wealth, but he also understood contribution. Gratitude expands perspective. It reminds you that you are not starting from nothing, you are starting from experience, from lessons learned, from strength earned through struggle. Gratitude doesn't make you complacent, it makes you grounded. And grounded people grow faster because they are not constantly fighting the past. Life will challenge you. Plans will break. Expectations will be tested. Positivity is what allows you to adapt instead of collapse. It's what helps you see feedback instead of failure. Edison didn't fail 1,000 times, he learned 1,000 ways that didn't work, because his mindset was fixed on progress, not ego. Resilience is born from positive meaning. When you decide that everything happens for growth, pressure turns into preparation. And as this day unfolds, remember this, the power of positivity is not loud, but it is relentless. It works quietly, shaping your choices, sharpening your focus, strengthening your resolve. It turns ordinary mornings into turning points. And if you choose it consistently, day after day, decision after decision, it doesn't just change how you feel. It changes who you become. The day has not happened yet. And that means the future is still listening. The future is still listening, and it responds not to wishful thinking, but to certainty. To the quiet confidence of someone who knows that regardless of what the day brings, they will bring their best to it. Positivity is the language of certainty. It is the inner posture that says, I will find a way, long before the way is visible. When you carry that posture, life begins to meet you differently. People respond to your energy. Opportunities reveal themselves. Even obstacles seem to carry instructions instead of threats. There is a rhythm to growth, and mornings set the tempo. When you begin the day aligned, you don't need to force momentum later, you ride it. Purpose becomes clearer when your mind is not clouded by negativity. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this preparing me for? That single shift changes everything. Because questions shape focus, and focus shapes reality. Purpose is not something you discover one day like a hidden treasure. It is something you choose daily through action. Lincoln didn't know how history would remember him while he was living through war and division. He simply committed to doing what he believed was right, one decision at a time. Purpose grows clearer when you act in alignment with your values, even when the outcome is uncertain. Positivity gives you the courage to move forward without guarantees. Discipline is where belief proves itself. Anyone can feel inspired for a moment. But disciplined positivity is choosing the empowering thought when the easy thought is negative. It's training your mind the same way an athlete trains their body, repetition, intention, consistency. Every time you redirect your focus from complaint to possibility, you strengthen a mental muscle. Over time, that muscle becomes your default state. Action taken from a positive mindset has a different quality. It's not frantic. It's not desperate. It's deliberate. You move with patience and persistence because you trust the process. You understand that success is not one dramatic leap, but thousands of small steps taken with belief. Walt Disney didn't see a theme park when others saw an orange grove because his mind was trained to look beyond present limitations. Vision grows in the soil of positivity. Learning becomes fuel instead of frustration when you choose this mindset. Mistakes are no longer verdicts on your worth, they are data. Feedback sharpens you instead of breaking you. The most adaptable people are not those with the most resources, but those with the most empowering interpretations. They stay curious. They stay open. They stay moving. And when setbacks come, and they will, positivity is what keeps you standing. Not because it makes pain disappear, but because it gives pain meaning. Resilience is not about being unbreakable, it's about being willing to rebuild stronger every time you're tested. Steel is forged in fire, and character is forged in challenge. A positive mind does not ask for an easier life, it asks to become stronger. As the day moves forward, remember that your attitude is an investment. Every positive thought is a deposit. Every intentional action compounds. Over time, the returns are extraordinary. Confidence grows. Clarity sharpens. Opportunities multiply. And one day, you look back and realize that the life you once imagined in the quiet of a morning has become the reality you now live. This is the power of positivity. Not as a slogan. Not as a mood. But as a way of being. A commitment to meet life with strength, faith, and forward motion. Today is not just another day. It is another chance to practice becoming who you are meant to be. And it starts now. It starts now, in the choices so small they seem invisible. In the breath you take before reacting. In the thought you choose before the habit takes over. This is where mastery lives, not in grand speeches or perfect conditions, but in moments of decision that no one applauds. Positivity gives you command over those moments. It slows the world down just enough for you to choose power instead of panic, intention instead of impulse. Most people think positivity is fragile, that it shatters under pressure. The truth is the opposite. Negativity is what breaks easily. It collapses the moment responsibility is required. Positivity endures because it is rooted in ownership. When you accept that you are the architect of your internal world, you stop being a victim of external events. You don't wait for the weather to change, you learn how to build in any climate. Think of Edison again, sitting in rooms filled with failure, wires scattered, experiments burned out, resources draining. What kept him going was not blind hope, it was constructive focus. He trained his mind to ask better questions. Not why is this so hard? But what's the next adjustment? That is positivity in motion. It is intelligence paired with belief. And belief, when acted upon, becomes momentum. Momentum is what separates those who dream from those who do. And momentum is built early, quietly, consistently. You don't wait for the day to motivate you, you use the morning to generate energy. Energy follows focus. Focus follows meaning. When you assign meaning to your effort, fatigue loses its power. You can be tired and still be driven. You can be afraid and still move forward. Positivity doesn't eliminate emotion, it directs it. Your emotions are signals, not commands. A positive mind listens without surrendering control. Fear becomes awareness. Stress becomes preparation. Pressure becomes sharpening. High performers don't have fewer emotions, they have better relationships with them. They use emotion as fuel, not friction. This is how ordinary people step into extraordinary lives. There is a version of you that already knows this. The one who has felt moments of certainty before. The one who has pushed through doubt and surprised themselves. That version is not gone, it's waiting for consistency. Waiting for you to show up again today, not perfectly, but deliberately. Positivity is how you reconnect with that self. It reminds you of what you're capable of when you stop negotiating with your excuses. And as the hours pass, as distractions compete for your attention, return to the center. Return to the intention you set when the day was still quiet. Success is not about intensity all the time, it's about alignment over time. A calm, focused, positive mind outperforms chaotic effort every time. You don't need to rush. You need to remain steady. Wealth, in all its forms, financial, emotional, relational, flows toward those who think long-term. Positivity stretches your time horizon. It helps you trade immediate comfort for lasting fulfillment. It teaches you to plant seeds instead of demanding fruit too early. Carnegie understood that fortunes are built by patience guided by vision. Nothing great is rushed, but everything great is decided. Service deepens positivity. When your goals expand beyond yourself, energy multiplies. You realize that your growth creates space for others to rise. Contribution turns success into significance. Gratitude keeps you humble. Vision keeps you moving. Together, they form balance. And balance is not stillness, it's controlled motion in the right direction. By the time the day begins to close, you may not see all the results yet. That's fine. Most progress is invisible before it is undeniable. What matters is that you kept your inner posture strong. That you chose empowerment again and again. That you lived today on purpose. Because days like this stack. And weeks like this transform. And years like this redefine what you believe is possible. Stay positive, not because life is easy, but because you are strong. Not because you ignore reality, but because you shape it. And tomorrow morning, when the world is quiet again, you'll return to this choice. And each time you do, you become more of who you decided to be.